NXT Halloween Havoc 2023 is going to be taking place over the next 2 Tuesdays. On this video, going to focus on night 1. We've got a full card, 5 women's matches, 2 spin the wheel, make the deal matches. We've got championship matches, we've got a debut, and much more. So without further ado, let's get straight into it, and let's not waste any time, shall we? Let's talk about that main event, shall we? Becky Lynch, the current NXT Women's Champion, defending against Lyra Valkyria. Of course, Lyra is, well, she's idolised Becky Lynch. Obviously, she said that looking at Becky Lynch and the accomplishments that she's done coming from Ireland, it was only a dream for her that she could even have the opportunity to follow in the footsteps. It feels now the door is open. She's made her way to NXT. We've seen clips from Ireland with Becky Lynch and Lyra actually training together. Of course, we said now they're in NXT together. Lyra Valkyria did win a triple threat match to get this #1 contenders opportunity here on this show. And well, since Becky Lynch has more or less said to Lyra Valkyria that, you know, you can idolize me, we can be friends outside of this. When it comes to match time, we're not going to be friends. Welcome to the big time, where Lyra has pretty much come out and said, well, you accomplished so much main eventing WrestleManias, winning championships. The one that was on my bucket list that you didn't do was winning the NXT Women's Championship first, which now Becky has done, which means, well, Lyra can never get that accomplishment. So this has the potential to get a little bit personal, but for me, it's mentor versus student. To give a prediction, I think Becky Lynch will be retaining here. I can't see it going any other way, although I do think a star-making performance could be here for Lyra Valkyria. You know Becky Lynch is going to want to put her over big time, pun intended. I hope that there's no heel turn after the match though, because it'll be interesting where Lyra does go from here, not winning the NXT Women's Championship, not defeating her mentor and idol, although, look, call me soppy, I'm hoping they're going to hug it out, but I just think Lyra is a good babyface. I'm enjoying her work in NXT, and I don't really think anything tweaks or changes are needed in that character at this moment. I think she can get over just fine in a losing affair to Becky Lynch. Next, let's talk about the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. We've got the family, Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo, against Chase U, that's right, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson, winning the Bada Bing, Bada Boom Battle Royale. And I've got to say, Sean, do more of those. I enjoyed that immensely. But the real story of this match really isn't really the two teams. The #1 contendership was only determined last week on NXT. The real story here is Thea Hale and JC Jane, because of course Thea Hale has been a part of Chase U for ever since she debuted, but of course she sort of broke away in recent times. Of course, this was after her NXT Women's Championship defeat to Tiffany Stratton, where Andre threw in the towel, of course, in the submission match. Well, now they're sort of back on side with Chase U. They've been supporting. JC Jane also has been in lessons, so even though it seemed like this different Thea Hale we're getting, which she's seen new dress attires and stuff like that, and JC being what's seen as a negative influence, so far they've actually been on side of Andre and Duke. But this is where it comes to this match, and this is where it comes to my prediction. I think the family are retaining D'Angelo and Stacks to remain your tag team champions. I actually think that Thea Hale is going to throw in the towel on Andre Chase, and that's going to be seen as a heel turn if you want, solidifying the breakup with them and Chase U. And of course, the family can go into other tag teams in the division. And of course, it would not be Halloween Havoc without Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal. We've got a lights out match with Blair Davenport versus Gigi Dolin. Of course, these two have been back and forth attacking each other on NXT. They've also 1-1 when it comes to in-ring competition. A lights out match is going to be interesting. Will that be the AEW style with it, where anything just goes and it's sort of seen as unsanctioned? Or is NXT going to do something a bit spooky with the lights? I'm not quite sure what we're going to see. It's Halloween Havoc after all. This is Gigi Dolin's sort of show, if you will. Of course, she's into the Halloween stuff, but unfortunately, I do think this could end up being a bit of a nightmare for her. I see Blair Davenport picking up the victory, because I think Blair Davenport right now has got the resume to become your next NXT Women's Champion. I look at Becky Lynch and think, who could take that championship from her? Right now, if it's not a, let's say, Jade Cargill that could come in further down the line, it's going to be someone on this NXT roster, and I believe Blair Davenport has got all the credentials to be a worthy NXT Women's Champion, and someone as well who could get the job done against Becky Lynch. They've been building her very well so far in their time in WWE and NXT. The other Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal match is the Devil's Playground match. This one definitely have all the toys and weapons out. It just feels like a glorified name for a hardcore match. I do love the creativity though, using Devil's Playground match for Halloween Havoc here. We've got Roxanne Perez against Kiana James. This started with a forearm backstage from Roxanne Perez on Kiana. Kiana's been looking to cost Roxanne Perez matches matches since. Kiana even got a match for Asuka against Roxanne Perez on NXT TV. Not going to complain about that. And for me, personally, really enjoyed that match, and I think this match will be a lot of fun as well. I would not be surprised if this was a match that kicked off the show. Usually, I don't bet against Roxanne Perez, and, well, as I've gone for Blair Davenport in the last Spin the Wheel match, I will go for Roxy to pick up the win here. However, Kiana James has had some issues with Becky Lynch previously. I wouldn't be surprised if Becky and Kiana had a match before Becky was to, finish her time in NXT. So this one I'm on the fence really of how it will go, but I will go for Roxanne Perez. We have the semi-finals of the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. We've got two matches, Kelani Jordan against Arianna Grace, and we've got Karmen Petrovic versus Lola Vice. I'm enjoying this tournament so far. It's always great to see some, less familiar faces, if you will, getting the chance to show off their skills, show what they're all about, and hopefully have a bright future in NXT. I believe it was Jade Parker, I thought, actually had a really good promo in her first round defeat, but obviously we've seen the final four here. Kelani Jordan versus Arianna Grace will be one of the matches. Karmen Petrovic versus Lola Vice will be the other one. Before this tournament started, Arianna Grace was my favourite to win this. She's got a fun gimmick with the beauty pageant stuff going on. She's very talented in ring, but if I look at the brackets and how they play out, I don't see that anymore. I think that Kelani Jordan is winning the semi-final because I think Lola Vice will win her semi-final against Karmen Petrovic, and I think we'll have a Kelani Jordan versus Lola Vice final. If you want my prediction for who I think will win that final, you're going to have to tune in to night 2 of the predictions, which will be dropping on the channel some point this next week. We have the in-ring debut of Lexis King. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to this. Obviously, the formerly known as Brian Pillman Jr., of course, second generation star, of course, coming into the company now in WWE. And he's been obviously under his Pillman name, of course, on the Indies and in AEW. But saying here, he never knew his father, and he's showing those signs of being a bit, let's say, unhinged and a bit of a loose cannon. Of course, if that's anything to go by, this is going to be very interesting to see in 2023, where Lexis King kind of almost mimicking what we've seen with Brian Pillman in the past. But I'm loving the vignettes. They've been amazing to see in ring. I'm looking forward to this as well. What character will come into the ring, because it's all right doing your moves. It is how you show off your character whilst being in match. And honestly, if he can connect that into in-ring as well as out of the ring, Lexis King can go all the way in NXT. I've been excited by what I've seen so far. Whoever he will face, he's picking up the dub. And yeah, bring more of this to me on NXT. I'm looking forward to it. Mr. Stone versus Bron Breakker is on the way for us next out. And I've got to say, Mr. Stone, what are you doing? You don't stand a chance here. Bron Breakker's winning this, ladies and gents. This story has been built up with Bron Breakker taking out Von Wagner. Mr. Stone has put himself on the line since, of course, costing Bron Breakker at No Mercy versus Baron Corbin. But now it's in a one-on-one environment. Breakker is going to destroy Stone, and I think there could be a beating to the point that it will motivate Von Wagner to get back into ring shape and to get the revenge on Breakker. We could see Stone in a similar state to what Wagner was left on a few weeks ago on NXT TV. So that's my predictions there for NXT Halloween Havoc Night 1. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, and if you're here at this stage, I'd like to think you have, please hit that like button, the thumbs up, to really help the algorithm here on YouTube. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and turn on notifications so you can be here for Night 2 predictions. Of course, there'll be content on this channel all the time, including WWE, AEW, Impact, or should I say TNA, and much, much more. So make sure to stick around on the channel, and I hope to see you for the next video. And just before I leave you, a little bit of promotional work as well for what's coming up on the channel. NXT TakeOver New Orleans is the SCW Rewind for this month, so we're actually going to be reviewing the New Orleans TakeOver. That'll be coming up on Wednesday, October 25th, so make sure not to miss that video. And as well, for those that are into Halloween Havoc, yes, there will be a special Halloween Havoc Rewind 1998, I can reveal, will be on this channel, so make sure to check out those when they come out later this month. In the meantime, if you can't get enough, why not check out these videos on the side of your screen right now. Take care and enjoy Halloween Havoc.